A big day for the stable on Saturday, Michael, with Metropolitan success at Eagle Farm with the RITZ. Gee, you must love this horse. He's been a ripper for the stable.
Yeah, he has, and thankfully I've been involved with him since he first entered the stables, even at Michael Costa's. So got a really special place in my heart there, and great owners behind him as well. So it just made it that little bit more special on the day.
You were narrowly beaten in the Coffs Harbour Cup last year. Is that a target again this year?
Yeah, look, as soon as we crossed the line, I had a look forward, and I'd already had half a plan in my head. Got weighted out once he won, basically, on Saturday. So I had to sort of come up with a plan B, and I just looked at the timeline, and I just figured out we could probably get to the Coffs Harbour Cup second up like we did on Saturday, and you know, that's when he's obviously at his absolute best, and yeah, tipped into the paddock yesterday.
His record second up is quite, well, he's almost unbeatable, isn't he?
Well, he nearly got beaten still on Saturday. He only just got there late, but look, he's a horse that I just think loves being that bit on the fresh side. In his racing, his pattern is that he can hit a bit of a flat spot. So he just needs to have that bit of freshness on his side to really sprint. Otherwise, you know, he hits that flat spot and he stays there sort of later in a prep. And that's sort of something we've learned about him. And so that's why I think second up, once he's had that blowout, he's really hard to beat.
With the Coffs Harbour Cup a potential target for him again, do you now set your sights maybe on chasing the little or big dance as well with that race, and attacking it more at a sort of third, fourth up run instead of deep into a campaign like last time?
Yeah, and that's where I made the errors last time. I sort of went 2 runs too many after the Coffs Cup when we'd already qualified for at least one of those races. So this time I think if we go there and we finish top 2, I think it'll be straight to the paddock again, and making sure he's hitting the key race, you know, at his absolute prime.
You're currently training one of the most unluckiest maidens on the Gold Coast, Zuri. She narrowly missed on Saturday after doing it tough from sort of the half mile. She's had some really tough racing of late, running well, but just not much luck in the run, and you know, she really does deserve a victory.
Definitely, and look, I have always called her the unluckiest horse in my stable. The owner's been really patient, but we got to a stage where she probably had a foot out the door nearly, and you know, there was sort of rumblings we try and sell her and just move on. But I said, look, let's give her a try on the poly here on the Gold Coast. Her best run before that had been on the poly up at the Sunshine Coast. So we decided to give her a chance here. She's run 2 seconds from her last 3 starts. There's another race in 3 weeks' time for her here, so I think we'll go to that, and you know, with some even luck, I think we should be getting there.
You've been active at the sales this year, spending up on yearlings?
Yeah, I've managed to land 6 already. Got 3 from the latest sale here at the Gold Coast, 1 in January and 2 at the Classic sale in Sydney there. So yeah, some really nice types, buying at that sort of value range, the 20 to 40,000 mark. Don't want to spend too much, and it just allows people to take a piece of a horse without having to, you know, spend deep into their pockets, and you know, at least have some fun in the future with them.
You've also been successful with a number of tried horses, obviously taking over a few from Michael Costa, and you're also, you know, on the lookout for the tried horses as well. Yeah,
I've managed to secure Bias, who was a horse that we'd sort of started his career up here. He'd shown plenty, very well bred. So the owners decided, you know, in the dispersal to take him to Sydney, give him his shot there. He deserved it. Hasn't quite measured up to their expectations, so they put him online last week. We picked him up for 30,000, and you know, he'll be up here in training probably in the next 4 to 6 weeks, and really looking forward to having him in the stable.
Is there a horse that we can look out for in the next week or 2 from your stable?
Look, Vivenzo keeps never putting a foot wrong. He's in there in town on Saturday, but you'll probably find that a little bit stiff, but he comes back here 2 weeks after that for one of those $50,000 races over 2,000 metres. I think he's going to be very hard to beat again once he gets back to here and back to that trip.
Thanks for your time, Michael.
Thank you.